Hi, this is Mr. Tipton, and we are today looking at using the order of operations with integers. We're going to put everything together that we've been working on for the past month or so to evaluate expressions and also to solve some real-world problems involving integers. Quick review of the order of operations. A lot of people say, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS or PEMDAS, whatever, just as long as you know that anything in a grouping symbol, anything that's in parentheses, needs to be done first, followed by any exponents, and then multiplying and dividing. Multiplying and dividing I have written on the same line here because they are a team. They don't care who goes first. Whenever you have multiplying and dividing together in an expression, you do them in order from left to right. And same deal with adding and subtracting. You do those in order from left to right as well. Okay, that's nothing new. You learned that in elementary school. Let's do a quick review of some exponent things. Make sure we remember how to do those as well. All right, if I have 2 to the third power, this is not 6. Okay, it's not 2 times 3. 2 times 3 looks like this. All right, that is not what we're doing. 2 to the third power means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 as a factor of itself 3 times. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 to the third power, or 2 cubed, is equal to 8. All right, and this is going to work the same even if we use negative numbers. This is not negative 3 times 4. It's negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. All right, negative 3 4 times. There is an even number of negative signs, so I know my answer is going to be positive. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. So that's a positive 81. Again, exponents you've seen before, you've worked with those before. They work the same way with negatives. No big deal. Let's look at some examples. All right, so here we go. Negative 8 times 3 plus 14 divided by negative 2. There are parentheses in this problem over here with the negative 2, but there's nothing to do inside the parentheses. All right, nothing to do there, so we move on. There's no exponents. Next is multiply and divide. I've got negative 8 times 3, and I have 14 divided by negative 2. Remember, multiply and divide are a team, so I'm going to do multiply and divide in order from left to right. And I'm only going to work one part of this expression at a time. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. Everything else I'm going to leave the same. Going to work one thing at a time. First I multiplied, now I'll divide. So I still have negative 24 plus 14 divided by negative 2. Signs are different. That's going to be negative 7. And then I'm actually going to rewrite this in OSC form. I don't like adding a negative. I don't like those two signs, so I'm going to rewrite it. Negative 24 minus 7 gives me negative 31. Okay? Order of operations works the same as it always has. There's just some negative numbers now that we know how to use. Here's another example. Several different parentheses, but there's only one term inside each of them, so we move on to exponents, and we do have exponents in this problem, so we'll start with those. Negative 3 squared, or negative 3 to the second power, means negative 3 times negative 3, and that's going to be a positive 9, minus negative 2 plus, yes, I'm going to rewrite all of this because I'm only going to do one step at a time. That's what your work should look like as well. Okay. Next, we have multiply and divide over here on the right. So I'm going to do the multiplying first. We'll have still have 9 minus negative 2, then plus negative 10 times negative 4 is positive 40, divided by negative 8. Division's going to come next. I'm going to do this next. I'll have 9 minus negative 2 plus negative 5. And now I've got a couple of different spots where I have two signs, so I'm going to rewrite it in OSC form. Subtracting a negative, same thing as adding. Adding a negative, same thing as subtracting. Now all I have left is add and subtract, so I'll do them in order from left to right. 9 minus 2 is 11. And then 11 minus 5, 6. Okay, it took up a lot of room. Took up a lot of room. That's okay. I'm going to show every step when we're showing our work. Another example. This time we do have things inside our parentheses that we need to clean up. Looks like we have negative 6 plus negative 8 in parentheses. I'm going to rewrite that. Adding a negative, same thing as subtracting. So negative 6 and negative 8. There, this is what I'm doing first. There we go. Negative 6 and negative 8 is a negative 14. And then still have plus negative 3 squared. Next I'm going to do my exponents. Exponents come before dividing. So still have negative 14 divided by 2, and negative 3 squared is positive 9. Next comes division. Negative divided by positive is negative 7 plus 9. And let's see, it looks like the positive team is going to win by 2. Alright, you know how to do order of operations, you know how to do negatives, we just put them both together now. One more problem, you are also going to have some real world problems that you need to make sure you can do. Remember, with real world stuff, look for your keywords, important information, answer what you're asked, sentence answers, and show your work. So here's an example for that. One cold week in January, the temperatures were negative 25 degrees, negative 10 degrees, negative 12 degrees, negative 18 degrees, negative 15 degrees. So what was the average temperature? Well, you remember from elementary school, the way you find an average or a mean is to combine all of your data and then divide by the number of data items. So I'm going to combine all these negative numbers here. Let's see, negative 25 and negative 10 is negative 35. Oops. Let's undo a couple of those marks there. Let's try that again. Negative 12, there we go. Negative 18, negative 15. Oh, you want to see what I did? I did that. Now I'm doing this. Negative 35 and negative 12 is negative 47. Negative 47 and negative 18 is negative 65. And negative 15 is negative 80. 80. There we go. All right, so that's my sum, my total for my temperatures. What I have to do now is take that negative 80 and divide it by the amount of data that I had. We took data on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different days. So I take negative 80 divided by 5 to get negative 16. Oops. Let's try that again. 16. All right. We need a good sentence answer. Oh, how about I write it in blue? And we'll say the average temperature, the average temp was negative 16 degrees. All right, real world problems, negatives, order of operations. You guys can do this. If you have any questions, write them down. Make sure your notes are complete, and we'll see you soon.